Hit that share button, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome to On Fire to Inspire. I am Aaliyah, your purpose midwife. I tell y'all, I'm so excited about tonight because y'all know one of my words this year is about being intentional. And we are being intentional about being the best version of ourselves. And so in order to do that, we got to grow in every capacity, every part of who we are in our being, right? So as I thank our sponsors, I want y'all to do me one favor. I want y'all to hit that share button if you're on Facebook or LinkedIn. And if you're over in YouTube land, y'all hit make sure you hit the subscribe if you're not already done so. Hit that like button and thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank mombizboss.org, y'all. If you are a female and you are a mom, multiple operational manager, and you're either entrepreneur that is aspiring or already there, this is a great, great way to connect with other women that are doing exactly. I mean, when I tell you they're moving and shaking, have some great networking opportunities. We just had our monthly brunch this past Friday. Awesome, awesome opportunity to connect and learn. But mombizboss.org. Check them out, y'all. And then we have Dance with Mina. If you go on Facebook and you type in Come Dance with Mina, MENA. Y'all, we have a great time with Zumba Mondays and Thursdays. But this week, we're back by popular demand. We're having a live line dance. Okay. So, y'all, the line dance is only $5 and it will be at 6 p.m. So it'll be Zumba time, but it will be $5. And we're going to have a great, great time. So y'all go check that out. And we look to see y'all there. She's going to be doing, I want to say she's going to be doing remote as well as virtual and live. That is Come Dance with Mina, MENA. We have UEB Designs. Y'all know UEBdesign.com keeps us hooked up with all of our little accessories. Everything is coming from UEB. Y'all go check them out, uebdesign.com. I got some pictures today of some new products they have. They got some heart earrings that are gorgeous, just in time for Valentine's Day. And they're doing a special. They said they're $8 with free shipping. And so y'all check that out. Go over there to UEB Design. They said they didn't have that many left because they're going like hotcakes. So y'all check that out. And then finally, nope, I have two more. If you don't have the Leadership Inside Trajectory, go to iworkfaith.com and get your copy of Leadership Inside Trajectory. If you're a leader, you need this in your arsenal. You can get it as an ebook or a paperback, and it is by my big brother and apostle, Ricky D. Surratt. Again, that is called Leadership Inside Trajectory. Now, if y'all don't have any of my products, shame on you, right? But I have the children's book that teaches foundational English and Spanish. In fact, I happen to have one right here. This is my very first book that I wrote about 18 years ago, y'all. So if y'all have a little one or a little one in y'all lives, is a bilingual. This is my second child. Her name is Precious Panda, and you can get that on Amazon. But I also have On Fire to Inspire the book. We have the coloring book. I am inspirational and affirmational coloring book. We are doing coloring parties, so y'all reach out to me if y'all want to sponsor a coloring party. And also we have several ebooks and we have the affirmational journal. And so as we're moving into this new place in this new year and being the better version and the best version of ourselves, we want to be intentional about doing things to take us into those places. And with that said, again, thank you for everyone. If you don't have any of my products, you can get it at www.onfiretoinspire.com. Look up my name on on Lord Amazon, and you can get any of the products, any of the books out there. Also, if you want to be a sponsor to On Fire to Inspire, email us at onfiretoinspire@gmail.com, and then just type in sponsorship, and we can tell you more about how you can become a sponsor and get a shout out each and every week for your business. All right, y'all. So we're excited again. We're being intentional about being the best version of ourselves. So we have my co-sister, co-laborer, a mom, biz boss. She is a business owner. She's a mom. Y'all, she's moving and shaking and she's not trying, she's helping people be better versions of themselves. And I want to welcome back to the platform my sister, Lisa Stringer Bailey. Welcome back.
Hey, Miss Leah, how are you? How are you?
I am great. I'm great. I'm ready. Got my pen and notebook ready so I can take some notes and learn. Y'all ready? Let's go. It's my favorite.
All right, honey, let's get it. I am ready as well.
Well, I want you to introduce yourself for the ones who have, who don't know who you are. I want you to introduce yourself to the On Fire to Inspire family.
All right, well, I'll be happy to. Thank you so much for having me, Miss Leah. This is actually my second time on your broadcast. So I'm
Yes,
so excited to be back again. Thank you so much for the re-invite. I am Lisa Stringer Bailey. I am the owner of Triple M Money Management Matters. Okay. Well, I help women make more money, save more money, and most importantly, protect that money. And I show women how to protect money with life insurance. Yes, life insurance is not just for a death benefit anymore. It's also for living benefits. It's also for savings benefits. And that's kind of what I'm going to touch on a little bit tonight.
yes, yes, yes. So the topic itself, the tax advantages of different savings options. What does that topic mean to you?
Oh, Carl, saving money is one of my utmost passions and purpose for my business because I've realized over the years. Now, look, I've been a financial professional for over 30 years. So I'm kind of telling my age, but I always been in finances. I always been fascinated with how money works, but I never was taught how to do it, right? We're not taught this at home. We're not taught to save money for a rainy day. We're not taught to invest our money. We're not taught to live for the future, not just for the now. We got to live for the future because look, at some point, God's will, we will live to see 80 and 90. We're going to have golden years. We're going to have retirement years. We're going to have children and grandchildren, and we're going to want money to spend in those years. So instead of just thinking about today, saving for today, I want people to really start focusing on saving for the future, for our years when we're not working anymore. And God forbid something happens to us and we can't work because of an illness or accident or the pandemic. Who knows? We got to be more prepared. So savings is one of my passions in my business.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So tell us about, because I'm excited about, you don't hear, like you said, you're not taught about that in the families because our family didn't know, our parents didn't know. And then also, you're not taught about that in school either. So, with that said, you take it away and we're ready to glean.
Okay. So first of all, I just want you all to know we're talking really about the tax advantages is what I want to concentrate on tonight of saving money. Now, a lot of us do save money and we'll save it in like a regular savings account that's in the same bank with our checking account. Because look, I worked in banking for 17 years. So I know the number two thing that we're supposed to ask as soon as we open that checking account is, do you want a savings account? It's good to open a savings account. And look, the savings accounts ain't paying but a 0.01%, if that, these days. So it ain't really a whole lot of money. You're not earning a whole lot of money, but the banks want your money in their bank so that they can invest it. Okay. Dirty little secret. They invest your money into these big investment things and make money off of your money. And you're not making a small smidget of what they're making. Okay. So having savings is good, but what I want you to know is if you have a lump sum of money just in a regular savings account, you're pretty much wasting your time and you're losing money. You're not saving money, you're losing, because there's so many other ways that you can invest that money. Okay. Now, a lot of times too, the money in the regular savings account is money that's going to get taxed. Okay. Because whatever little bit of money that you are earning, and this goes for CDs and CDs that you open at a regular bank and savings accounts. So say for instance, you open a $5,000 or a $10,000 CD, all the money that you earn on that money, on that CD, is going to be taxed. Okay. Because at the end of the year, they're going to send you, don't quote me on the name of the tax form, but it's a little form that says your interest that you've earned, and you got to claim that on your taxes, whether it be a little bit or a lot, depending on how much money you got in the bank. But what you want to do is really think about, how can I avoid paying taxes? Okay, it's tax season, right? So we're looking at our money and we're looking at, oh my God, am I going to have to pay taxes? How can I avoid paying taxes? And, what's the strategy for that? So I'm going to give you a couple of strategies for avoiding taxes during tax time on your savings. Okay. And in particular, let's talk about retirement savings. Okay. A lot of these employees right now want you to put money in a 401k. Okay. The 401k is good. I ain't got nothing against it, but think about it. And this is what we don't think about. The 401k is money coming out of your paycheck before it's taxed. Okay. Which is a good thing, because now your tax liability is lower, right? So you ain't paying as much tax right now. But you got to remember, when it's time to take the money, when it's in your retirement years and it's time to pull that money out, guess what? Uncle Sam is going to get his. He's going to be like, oh, you ain't paid taxes on this money? Oh, we about to tax it. Now, here we is thinking we got $5,000 to spend, because that, just a number, $5,000 in savings that we put in a 401k, that we're going to have $5,000 that we can use for retirement. And not happening, because you ain't paid your taxes on it. So what they're going to tax it, and I don't know what the tax situation going to be in retirement. We don't know. We can't tell the future. But you best believe the amount of money that the government is printing, and now they trying to catch up on taxes because they in debt and all this there. Oh, it's going to be a substantial amount, depending on your tax bracket, whatever. Let me just preface this. Everybody's situation is different. Okay. So these are just general rules, things that you need to think about when you're thinking about the money that you're saving and how that money is being taxed. Okay. So what I want you to look at, and this is, let me pull up my notes here, is when you're thinking about your savings, you want to think about these three things. Do you want to pay taxes now? Do you want to pay taxes later? Or do you want to pay taxes never? Okay. Now that never part is the one that we don't know about. A lot of us don't know about, because this is how the wealthy people, i.e. Trump, gets away with not paying any taxes, right? Y'all heard the news. Y'all see it in the news how a lot of our wealthy people don't pay taxes. It's because they know how to strategically funnel their money in their savings in different type of directions. Now, if you want to go ahead and pay your taxes now on your savings, that's fine and good. The 401k is the 401k plan is one that you're going to pay taxes later. That's tax deferred. So that's why I want to tell y'all, when y'all hear these words, tax deferred, That means the taxes is being deferred to your retirement years. Okay. Now, me personally, I don't want to be thinking about no whole bunch of taxes in my retirement years. Okay. So I choose not to do that. But let me just put this caveat in. If your employer is offering you a match on your percentage that you're putting in the 401k, if they match 3%, if they match 4%, if they match 6%, then that's the percentage that you put in. Go ahead and put in that 6% because that's free money that your employer is giving you. Now, if they're not matching nothing, but they're just saying you need to open a 401k because we don't have no pension no more. And y'all know these companies nowadays don't have no pension. So if they just saying, go ahead and open this 401k, but we ain't matching nothing, you can do it, but I wouldn't suggest it. So it's just depending on your tax situation. If you need some tax savings now, then go ahead and do the 401k. But if you don't want to have to worry about it in the future, then don't do the 401k. That makes sense? You have a question, Aaliyah?
I have a question. I see a question in. She said, are high yielding savings accounts also taxed?
Yes. Yes, a high yield savings account. That's like a money market account. Mm-hmm. Yeah, any earnings is taxed. Yep, any earnings is taxed.
I'm just trying to catch the question so I don't miss anybody.
Oh, that's fine. Please stop me because I don't want to go too fast because I feel like I'm running. I don't want to get people confused. Okay. So are we straight on the tax deferred? That's your 401ks, your 403bs, and some traditional IRAs that you put your retirement money in. Anything that's set up before it's taxed is tax deferred. Okay, deferred means you will have to pay it later. That's the whole thing. Just remember, later. Now, taxable. Now, these are your investment accounts, your high yield savings accounts, your CDs accounts, anything you open at a bank. These are taxable income. This is money that you're going to get taxed on. So if you do decide to go that route, just know that you're going to get taxed on that money right now, today, the very next tax year that you make the money. Okay. So depending on your situation, you might want to go ahead and have it taxed now, or you will get taxed later. Just depends. And then the tax-free. The tax-free is the way we really want to go. And there's so many different ways to have your money, your savings, your retirement money tax-free. One is after-tax money. Now, this is money that you have, like the money that you're putting in a savings account. If you choose to put that money in something like a Roth IRA, which is an individual retirement account, and it's called Roth because it's after tax. That's just remember, after taxes. You've already paid tax on the money, right? So this is money. This is your take-home pay. Put it that way, your take-home pay. So you decide you want to put a little bit of money somewhere for your retirement, which is a good idea. I'm telling you, we got to start thinking for the future. Then you can put it in a Roth IRA, and guess what? It's tax-free. Okay. And another advantage of it compared to the 401k, the 401k has so many stipulations, right? One stipulation is you cannot touch the money until 59 and a half. And if you do, they're going to penalize you on your money. That's what Eric angers me. You mean to tell me I can't take my own money? No, because the government, that's one of those government rules. I don't like that. But if you put it in a Roth IRA, that's after tax money. So you've already paid your taxes. You ain't going to pay tax on it no more. And you can take the money out whenever you want to. It's your money. And then you have my specialty, which is insurance. Now I'm telling y'all, there's an insurance product that I sell that you can place this dedicated money where you want to save it for your future. You want to save it for retirement. You want to save it tax-free. You don't want to have to pay taxes on the earnings that it makes. Because y'all heard of whole life insurance policies that have cash value. It builds cash value inside the policy. Now they've upgraded that to what we call an IUL, which is an index universal life policy. This policy is connected somewhat to the index market, the stock market. So it earns a little bit more cash value, but it does not lose money when the stock market goes down. It's protected. The insurance company protects it for you. Not only that, the money that you earn inside of that policy is tax-free money. Okay? When you pull it out, if you pull it out in the future in your retirement years, it's tax-free money. Okay? So that's the way you really want to go to avoid the government putting their hands on your money. Like that 401k, 403b thing, honey, it's another what they call it. If you don't take the money out, right? Say you just want to leave the money in there because you don't really need it, because maybe you got money coming in from another area. So you just want to leave that money there. But with the 401k and the 403b, you have to start taking money out at a certain age, which is, I want to say, is 70 or 70 and a half. You have to. And if you don't, they penalize you. They penalize you if you take it out, and they penalize you if you don't take it out. What kind of mess is that? Honey. So I'm telling you that it's a good product for some people. It just depends on your situation. But when I'm thinking about if I want to give my hard-earned money to the government, I'm trying to think of ways not to. Because, honey, they not giving us nothing. Well, they did give us a couple little stimulus checks, but I've heard that's not happening this year. So some of the taxes done changed. I'm not a tax expert either. Let me tell y'all that. I do my own taxes, but I don't do other people's taxes. I'm not a tax expert, but I do know these things about saving money and different ways to save money and how to save your money tax-free. What questions you have?
Okay, new question. Can we transfer money that's already in our 401k and just move it to an IRA, or do we need to leave it there and just do a Roth IRA? If they want to take that 401k and put it in Roth.
You can do either or. You can do both or either or. What you want to do is contact the company that has the 401k, because they also have their own stipulations. Some of them will let you roll it over, and some of them won't. Now, like at my job, I can't roll it over unless I leave my job, right? So that's a stipulation that company has that holds my 401k. But some companies, it just depends on the company, they will allow you to roll it over. So it just depends on the situation, but that is something that you can do.
Did that answer your question? I'm trying to answer that. This is great information. Thank you for this reminder, because you know how you hear things and then you forget about things. She said, yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to give you all too, which is a tip that a lot of us don't know. Say, for instance, you needed the money. You got money in your Roth IRA or on a retirement account, or just sometimes just a regular savings account. Depends on the bank, and you need some of the money. Now, if you pull the money out of a retirement account, it's gonna penalize you, right? So to get around the penalty, what you can do is do some research in some local banks or online banks, and tell them that you want a loan. You want maybe a line of credit with the bank, and you're gonna use your retirement account as collateral. Now, be careful with this. Now, you have to really be disciplined, because you want to make sure you pay this. You got to be able to pay the bill, because if you don't, then they'll pull it out of your retirement account. But the caveat here is you don't get taxed on money that you are loaned. You don't get taxed on credit. You don't get taxed when you borrow money. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
When you compare it to being taxed on taking money out of the IRA. So again, you got to decide, do I want to get taxed on the money or I don't want to get taxed on the money? If you get a loan, you won't get taxed on it. But you use your savings account, your retirement account as collateral for that loan. So that's another way you get around paying taxes on your money.
Okay. Lisa, this is good.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Another thing too, I want to say about the life insurance policies is also, I was talking about living benefits. Not only can you take the money out tax free, but you can take the money out if you need anything for medical purposes. Just say you got sick, you got cancer, or you got any kind of other chronic disease. The product that I sell has a rider on there that's called it's called long-term care, uh, cancer, chronic illness type situations. And if you have that, if that happens to you, then you can withdraw money from that policy for that purpose. And it's tax free as well because it's your money and it doesn't affect the death benefit. That's another thing that you can do with that life insurance policy.
Mm-hmm. What would you say to the person that, oh, I've been with this job for 20 years. I have insurance with my company. I have premium insurance with my company. And I have everything with my company. What would you say to that person?
I said, honey, these companies ain't loyal. Okay, have y'all heard that movie? That song, These Girls Ain't Loyal. Anyway, okay, I digress. These companies ain't loyal. They can lay you off at the drop of a dime. If y'all been watching the news, is it Microsoft that just laid off over 100 people? And Microsoft is one of the biggest companies in the United States, in the world. They can lay you off at the drop of a dime in a minute, in a hot minute. Look, if 2020 didn't taught us that should have taught us that. We don't know what's going to happen. They could have a big breach, and somebody hack into their computer system. So they got to shut down because all their information has been stolen, and that's going to kill their reputation. Ain't nobody going to shop with them or use them anymore, and they're going to lay you off. It's 1,000,001 things that could happen. That building could catch on fire or flood, and then you can't go into work because all the equipment is damaged. Then how you gonna work? They're gonna be like, we don't need you right now because we got to rebuild. So you cannot solely depend on an employer anymore. That's another thing I coach about in my financial coaching program is making more money, having multiple streams of income, having an ABCD plan, okay? Because just in case that main gig, you get the gigging out, you got a backup plan. I teach people to learn a new skill, figure out what it is that God has given you, what skill and ability that God has given you, what are you good at, and monetize that thing. It's been so many people, especially during 2020, that started their own business, home-based businesses, multi-level marketing businesses, direct sales businesses. If you like to cook cookies, honey, go on in there and get you a Girl Scout business going on. You can call it something else. Don't call it Girl Scout, but call it something else because them your cookies and everybody love them, honey. Sell them, pack them up and sell them. Make you some money on the side. And look, that little extra money that you're making on the side while you're working, stash that money away. Put it into those Roth IRAs, the life insurance policy. Put it somewhere where you can't get to it so you will have it for that backup plan. Because look, these companies ain't loyal. I work for a very good private company, and you think they are pretty much more stable than these stock market companies, but honey, I don't trust none of them.
One of the questions was, what what states are you what states are you licensed in?
Licensed in right now, I'm only licensed in Georgia,
Oh,
but I
man.
do have associates and partners that's licensed in many states. So I can definitely get you connected to someone in your state if you're in a different state. And look, if the business is good, I can get my license in that state. Because I'm
Oh,
looking to expand, honey. I'm always looking to expand and up level. And honey, I'm looking to go into other states. So that's not a problem.
he's in Florida.
Okay.
Her
Yeah.
other question was, will that universal index insurance be inexpensive given your age, or is it like traditional insurance as well based on age?
Mm-hmm. All insurance is going to be based on your age. It's going to be based on your age, your health, if you're on any medications, your height, your weight, all that is taken in consideration, just like any other insurance. So I tell people the best time to get your insurance is when you are well. Okay, when you don't have any medications, that you're not taking any medications, when you're doing good, the sooner the better. It's so important. And if you are of age, like in your 50s or something like I am, listen, you can still get it, but it's gonna cost a little bit more. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's gonna cost a little bit more because we have waited late in age to get it. Now, if you start in your 20s and in your 30s, it's the best time to get the best price for premiums on life insurance.
She said Florida needs you, sis.
All right, honey. Well, I sure come to Florida. You just let me know. I come to Florida. I love to travel.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. She actually came to the event that I put on in June here in South Carolina, Queens United for the Great Awakening. And we had a ball. And again, thank you for coming and
Okay.
supporting. Wow.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, honey.
ma'am.
I had such a good time at that event. Me and Teresa rode up there together. And look, I love to do a road trip with some girls, honey. Girls trip is my favorite.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I had another tip that I want to share with your audience about some another savings vehicle, and this is one that a lot of us don't think about either. Now, again, this is one of these that it's only going to fit a certain person, and it just depends on your situation. But if you do your health plans, y'all know every year if you're employed, you have to re-up on your health plan, or if you have your own business, hopefully you have some type of health plan. Now, if you do the health savings account, okay, don't get it confused with the flexible savings account, which that's another type of account. But the health savings account is a very good account that you can stash some money in for saving, okay? Tax free, because this is money that's coming out of your payroll before you pay taxes, okay? But this is also money that you can roll over year after year after year. So you put the money in there. If you don't need it for your medical expenses right now, let it keep rolling. Keep putting money in there. Let it keep rolling. And it's money that you can use in your retirement years for your health issues. You know, if you do have to start a medication, if you do get sick down the road, this is money in this health savings account that you can use for all those medical issues that you may have in the future. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've seen some of our elderly people now, some of our senior citizens now that can't afford their medication. They can't afford to go to the doctor. You know, it's just a struggle because they only have Social Security, or they only have Medicaid or Medicare or whatever that, however that goes. But if you have your own money set aside just for health issues, health expenses, this HSA account is a perfect one that you can start stashing some money in. Stash it in there, tax free. It's going to lower your tax liability today, And when you take it out, when you're using it in the future, you ain't gonna never get taxed on it because you have to use it for health issues, but you can use it for medications. You know, if something ever happens, you get on, and in our community, pretty much everybody I know have blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medicine. Me. So I use that HSA card every time. Tax-free money.
That's interesting about the HSA because my husband gets penalized on his taxes each year for not using it. So we've tried to deplete it. Wow.
Say that again.
She said that her husband gets penalized on their taxes because they're not using the money in his taxes.
HSA or the F. It's two of them now. If a flexible spending account and there's a health savings account. Now that flexible spending account will penalize you if you don't use it. And you'll lose it at the end of the year if you don't use it.
Okay, so it may be that flexible spending account.
Flexible. Mm-hmm.
Because the
two different kinds.
Should be able to be rolled over.
Mm-hmm.
She said, yes, HSA. Okay, so yeah, this is a HSA. I don't know. You might need to call your CPA because she said that should be rolled over. And she said she rolls hers over as well. Wow. She said they were depleted because they're being taxed because they weren't using.
Yeah, I'd have to see what she's talking about because that sounds like a flexible savings account to me. The health savings account, they do not penalize you. I mean, because it's a health savings account and it can be used if you need it, and it can be used if you don't need it. It rolls over year after year. The caveat is, though, you have to have a high deductible health plan. Okay. Now, with that high deductible health plan, you know you have to pay a deductible before the insurance kick in. And that deductible could be anywhere from $4,000 and $5,000, $6,000 if on a family plan. If you're single, I think it's a little less. It might be about $3,000 if you're single. But you have to hit that deductible before your insurance will kick in. So this is really only good for people that don't go to the doctor a lot. You know, people that just go to the doctor for routine issues, maintenance issues. If you have an illness where you're always in the doctor for a specialty illness or something, yeah, the HSA might not work for you. And then if you choose to do the flexible savings account, which a lot of people do that flexible savings, you do get penalized for that if you don't use it up. You have to use every bit of that. And then I think at the end of the year, if you have some left over, you lose it. And I don't know where it go, but you lose it. That's why at the end of the year, a lot of people get to going to the eye doctor, get new prescriptions, you know, trying to figure out a way to spend all that money. Because it's their money, and if you don't spend it, you're going to lose it.
Yeah, you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Wow. Excuse me. Any more questions or comments? Thank y'all so much for all this interaction. Because like I said, we're being the best version of ourselves. We're being intentional. And so we're learning. We're gleaning from someone who has over 30 years of experience in the financial department. So, you know, who can better teach you than somebody been dealing with this? Did they give you to April 15th of the following year? Do they give you to the April 15th of the following year, you said? Yeah.
To do what?
You talking about to exhaust that FSA? But what can you clarify? Leadership Lady Live, can you clarify that question? To use the FSA.
That I'm not sure about. I always thought it was the calendar year. Now I could be wrong.
Okay.
So don't quote me on that because I'm not too sure about the FSA, the flexible savings account.
Okay.
My understanding is the calendar year, so end of December.
Oh, okay.
But it could be different.
Yeah. I would say read all the fine print on your documentation. Go find your paperwork. Read the fine print because that's when you find those kind of things. You're like, oh, I didn't know.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. Great questions, y'all. Great questions. Great
Hmm.
points. Thank you for these tips. I mean, y'all, how many of you all knew that you could actually start your Roth IRA and
I can't hear you, Aaliyah.
you can't hear me?
I can hear you now. You're
Okay.
going in and out.
Oh, I was asking them how many of them knew that they didn't have to wait till they were 59 and a half to use a Roth IRA because we know
Oh
in a
yeah,
standard IRA, you
yeah,
have to be, you
yeah.
know. She said, are children's savings accounts um, but, taxed? And if so, pre or post? Like children's savings account, like that. What's that? 509? What's that?
The
529? You talking about?
529. Yeah, that's another one that you can use for to defer taxes on. As long as they use it for education, it's not taxed. Yep, the 529 plan, that's another one. If you have
When they
children.
use when they use it, is that taxed?
No, long as they use it for education.
As long as
Now,
it's
if they
used.
decide, if they can't prove that it's used for education, then yeah, they're gonna tax it.
Okay.
So that's
So
not really a good idea if you don't know if your child's gonna go to college or not.
okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they decide they ain't going to college, like some of our youth are these days, yeah, you can pull the money out, but it's gonna be taxed.
Okay. Okay. So the 529 for the youth for the children, for school, it can be used and the tax is deferred as long as it's used for education. The children
Hmm.
decide to go, then you can pull the money out, but you will be taxed because it wasn't used for educational purposes. Can
Hmm.
you get 529 for a child that is not yours, perhaps a niece or nephew?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. I would suggest go to irs.gov, irs.gov, put in the search engine 529 plan, and then read through it there. Um, that's a good question. Because yeah, I guess if you have documentation that you are the guardian of that person, you probably can. But if you don't have legal documentation, that might not be possible. Because y'all know how Uncle Sam is, honey. He ain't trying to let you get by with nothing.
And you would think, some grandparents may be trying to be proactive and do stuff like that. So that would be a good
Yeah.
question. Look that up. Let us know
Yeah.
what y'all.
Yeah. If I check it out on irs.gov. A lot of people don't know the IRS got a website, honey, and it's a plethora of information on there. But it takes some time to read it. And then if you don't understand it, I think they have a chat option on there too. A lot of people don't want to call them because it takes you be on the doggone phone for hours. But it's a chat option that you can chat and get some answers on that too. But that's a really good question.
Yeah, that was great because she was saying she was thinking about her great niece that she wanted to start something for her little great niece. That's sweet. And
Hmm.
a lot of times great grandparents think proactively, whereas sometimes when the parents are younger, they don't tend to think like that too quickly.
That's right.
Is there an age limit for how long that 529 plan can be used for the dependent? For example, if they did a bachelor's, master's, doctoral degree, and did
Hmm.
not straight through, is there like is there an age limit on being able to use that 529?
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Same thing. IRS.gov.
Gov to find out
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
particulars of that.
The particulars on that, because that 529 is a government plan that came up from, that was brought about by the government. So it should be on irs.gov, and
Okay.
it would let you know if it's anything like, our insurance or whatever that we can carry on our kids. It's up to like the age 25, maybe 26. But,
Okay.
I wouldn't know for sure what that
Right.
age is.
So since it's a government plan, y'all go look at irs.gov and
Hmm.
see if you can find the information out there. She said,
Hmm.
yeah. Leadership Lady Live said parents are often trying too hard to survive. So you're right. A lot of them trying hard to survive. So throwing extra money into a 529 may not be an option that they may want to do it, but they may not have it to do it. Whereas a grandparent or great aunt or someone like that may be able to say, "Hey, I want to be able to help in this capacity." So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
great research option for you to be able to help out. Y'all, I'm loving this. This is so
Mm-hmm.
helpful.
It is.
So
And just remember too, if you're looking for something for your children, there is other options other than that 529 plan. You can do a brokerage account, at a brokerage, start them off on what we call a mutual fund, which is a safe grouping of uh, stock accounts. It's going to grow more interest, but you're going to have more money in there, and then you have more flexibility to decide what you want to do with the money. They don't have to go to school. They can use it to start their own business. They can use it to travel. They can use it for a food truck, whatever. Kids have such imaginations nowadays that college is not on their number one list anymore, right? So having money for them is a very good idea, but you want to make sure you have the most for them. So think of other options. Think of a brokerage account. Think of you can also do insurance. You can also do an insurance for a child, and set that up and have it grow cash value for your child. Um, I had one more on my mind. It slipped just that quick. But definitely think of other options outside of the 529 plan because it's so restrictive. It's so restrictive, and you want to put it in something where you have access to it when you want it, and you can do what you want to with the money.
because it's your money.
Because it's your money. and the government get to keep the government out our pockets.
Our next question is, can you do trust? Can they do a trust for a child, or can you just do a trust and it be?
Girl, that's a legal question. I would suggest, I would defer that to a legal person because
Consult your local attorney or paralegal for that answer.
yeah, yeah. But that is a good idea. That is a very good idea that I have heard for myself that I need to set up a trust, especially when you have real estate, you have a business, you have life insurance, you got any type of assets in your name that you want to leave to your grandchildren. Definitely, a trust is a good idea.
And one of the things, living in a small town like in my hometown, it has to your stuff has to go in probate, even if you have a will. I think it's like 8 months. Don't quote me on the eight. It's 6 to 9. I can't remember the exact amount, but even with a will, and
Mhm.
so it behoove a person to have a trust account, put their real estate, put their assets, so that it cannot be placed in probate. Because when it go into probate, guess what? You got to pay taxes on that. So you had all this land and
Mhm.
state assets. Guess what's about to come out of your pocket? Money.
Mhm.
And if you don't have that money right then to be able to pay, you got to be able to pay that at some point. So a trust account, if you have property and things of that nature, that would be a great asset for you to look into. That reminds me because I said I was going to do the same. So thank you
Mhm.
for the question, Leadership Lady Live, because you're reminding me that I need to get back into researching that. Yes.
Yep.
Ooh, great. Girl, I tell you, we thank you for allowing us to pick your brain this evening.
You
This
are
has
so
been
welcome.
great. Um, y'all, any other questions? Because we are coming up on 10 minutes to 9 almost. I can't believe we go
Can
so
you see
long.
that?
Oh, wow.
Did my comment come up on your chat? Or is that?
Uh,
Oh, that's the private chat, ain't
yes,
it?
I tried to check. So,
Can you copy and paste it to the comments? I just want to let your audience know if you do have any more questions, or if you oh, I see the chat now. I couldn't even see it a while ago. I'll be so happy to speak with you. If you wanted to schedule some time with me, that is my calendar link. It's www.bitly.com money moments. That is my link. You can schedule some time with me. I do work full time still. So my insurance and my financial coaching business is my part-time gig. It's my second, third stream of income, honey. So most of my hours is in the evening and on the weekends. So which I think works well for a lot of working people as well, because that's the time that we have to take care of these things is in the evenings most times or on the weekend. So I'm happy to speak with you. Like I said, I do life insurance, which I do all types of life insurance, final expense, the IUL, the whole life, the term, and children policies as well. You can start a children policy as early as 14 days old. So I just got my first grandbaby. So I have him a life insurance policy started. I'm so excited because this is something I wish I knew when my children was babies. Okay. But I didn't really get into the insurance game until about 6 years ago. And that's because I had family members that passed away with no life insurance. And it was just so devastating. And not just one, I had a few of them. So it was so devastating. And I kind of asked God, why is this happening? And I got the calling from God that said, we need to teach our people. Teach your people, teach my people, my sons and my daughters about financial management, about money management, about being more prepared, about leaving a legacy for their children, about leaving resources, money behind, because your family still got to live if you are no longer here. So that's why it's so important to me. And I got my life insurance license, like I said, about 6 years ago. So before that, I didn't know. And I was in the financial industry. I knew about insurance, but I didn't know that my family didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we think, oh, they got it, oh, they should know about it, but we don't talk about it. It's not one of them subjects that we sitting around the dinner table saying, did you pay your life insurance this month? Because look at here, you may have it, but if you didn't pay the premium, then it's going to go away. It's one of those things that we have to make it a priority, just like we prioritize paying this cell phone bill. We're going to make sure that get paid because we can't do nothing without these days. But we need to make sure that we get that life insurance established and paid every month. Okay? So it's so important. So important. So that's my soapbox.
So tell them on your Bitly, does that have the link to your YouTube page and all of that too?
No, that's just my calendar. So
okay.
You all can follow me on Facebook at Lisa Stringer Bailey and at Triple M Money Management Matters. Then my YouTube is Money Management Matters. So I'm trying to grow that YouTube channel. So if y'all on YouTube, honey, definitely get over to Money Management Matters, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Because I go live at least every Monday for Monday Money Motivation. But every now and then I'll go in there and I'll do this series of lives every single day where I go in and then we're talking about financial, we're talking about money management. And as a Christian and a believer of God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit, honey, I talk about biblical principles of what the Bible says about money. So just believe that and just know that before you come over there, you're going to hear about God.
What I'm talking about.
So, please feel free to follow me.
All right. Well, we thank you so very, very much.
So y'all so very welcome.
Make sure y'all go and subscribe to her page, to her channel, so that you can be notified when she's coming out with these wonderful nuggets. She's always throwing nuggets like this, y'all, out on YouTube, out on Facebook. And we tend not to know our ethnicity. I'm followed by everybody, but mostly African. But we tend not to know because we're not taught. We haven't been taught. And so now we do have people that have learned and they are here to equip. She's been called to equip us. I've been called to push you into your purpose and your passion, but I've also been called to help you grow into that full best version of yourself. And you can't be the best version of yourself in ignorance. So
That's
that's
right.
allow us to, we're not in competition. We collaborate and bring people like Lisa on. And Lisa, I don't know if I ever told you, but I had gotten licensed. I kind of let my lapse when I really just focused on the show. But I
Mhm.
got because of the same exact thing. I had two family members pass within a year of each other, and they did not have, well, one of them had, no, both of them had policies from their 80 something year old mother, but it wasn't enough to cover everything. And
Mhm.
so they had, she still had that policy because we would have been looking at a GoFundMe or something to that effect, you know.
Mhm.
So it is serious. Reach out to Lisa, find
Mhm.
out how she can help you. And if y'all in the right state, leadership lady, you're in Georgia, she'd be able to help you. Miss McMillan, she is at Dr. Soon to be Dr. McMillan. She may be able to get that Florida license and hook y'all up because she is willing. And that's the
Absolutely.
people that are willing to help push you into that next place. And so y'all make sure y'all go out and subscribe to Money Management Matters. While y'all out there, y'all go out and subscribe to Aaliyah the Purpose Midwife. We are growing our YouTube channel because again, it's time for us to be the best version of ourselves. And I'm talking to each and every one of you, Lisa, all of us. It's time for us to get out of that box that we place ourselves in, right? And
Right?
it's time to understand there is no sky being the limit. I serve a limitless God. There are no limits on him. So guess what? There are no limits on me. And so as we move in this vein in 2023, we got to understand that we're walking in intentionality and we're doing what he's called us to do. We're locking arms with people that are like-minded that say, hey girl, let's grow together. And
Mhm.
that's we're growing together. So thank you, my sister.
You
I
are
look
so
forward to
welcome.
seeing you for other stuff. You holler at me if you need me. You know how to reach out to me. And thank you again for coming on back.
You are so welcome. Thank you. Love
You're
you.
welcome. Love you too. Bye bye. So y'all, if y'all missed any of these gold nuggets, that she was just throwing all this fire to y'all, she's throwing all this power and stuff. She's equipping us with the knowledge. All right, she's subscribed over there for you, Lisa. So they're subscribing. Leadership Lady Live and Miss Dr. McMillan, Pearson McMillan will be. They are new subscribers. If y'all have not subscribed, make sure you go subscribe to both. I'm gonna place them on y'all screen again. It was Money Management Matters. Go over there and subscribe so that y'all can get all of these great tips that she rolled out on Friday. I'm on Monday, sorry, Monday. And then go to my page and subscribe because this we're actually live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So we're growing and going together. And Leadership Lady Live, I want to thank God for you because last week you were bringing and dropping the noise, dropping that doggone fire for us as well. And thank you for coming back and supporting this week. So y'all, we are making sure that it's not about oh, I'm in competition with you and you're in competition with me. No, it's about how can I help you grow and how can you help me grow and how can we help each other as we move forth in the things that God has called us to. It's time. One of the things that God reminded me of when I started this show 8 years ago, he said, tell the people that it's time to stop settling. Y'all hear me well. It's time to stop settling. And it's time to start living the life that God has called you to. What has He placed on the inside of you that you have not even done? Or you can't stop dreaming about it, or it's still in you, but you have not done a thing with it. It's time to get up. It's time to wake up. It's time to get up. And it's time to show up for yourself. Just like you show up for each and everybody else. You show up for everybody and you're there for them and you're sacrificing for them. You're doing this and you're doing this. But what are you doing for you? So in 2023, I admonish you to show up for you because it's time. Someone's waiting on you for you to get in position, for you to do what you need to do so they will know that it can be done. So they'll know that, wait a minute, if God brought her through it, that I can do it. So it's time for you to show up for you. Why? Because it ain't about you. It's about everybody else that's waiting on you to get in position. Y'all, I didn't plan on this at the end of the hour, right? So, y'all, yes, it's time to wake up. It's time to get up and it's time to show up for you. I love y'all. I'll be back same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all share this with somebody because I promise you they don't know this information just like we didn't know. But we're learning together, we're growing together, and don't have that crab in the barrel mentality. I know it, but I ain't gonna share with nobody. No, share with everybody because your blessings are coming up, going to be coming to you because you're being a blessing to them. I'm Aaliyah, the Purpose Midwife. Y'all don't forget to go subscribe to those channels we told you about. And I'll see y'all same time, same place next week. If you want to be a sponsor to the show, reach out to us at onfireinspire@gmail.com. And your subject will be sponsorship. Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed, awesome, prosperous week. And let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. It is time to live. Love y'all. Have a awesome week.